Wake Up MLS Match Day 27. As usual, we have our predictions video on the agenda for today. 5 in-depth matchups we're going to be covering, previewing in detail. As usual, I'm joined on this video today by a great cast and crew. We got AJ from Atlanta United Fan TV. We have Davi from the Blue Burrows Pod. And we have Hector from Insert Name FC here today to discuss, debate, banter on how we think these midweek MLS matches are going to go. We are dangerously close to a hiatus coming right in the middle of the season. Got 2 more match days, and then it's Leagues Cup for a month or so, right? So we'll talk about Leagues Cup a little bit on this channel. I know not everybody's a massive fan of it, and that's totally okay. But at the end of the day, our teams are playing. Whether we're going to the games or not, I think I'm definitely going to be supporting my team. But regardless, right, for today's video, if you haven't done so already, do me a quick favor. Like the video down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's jump into this preview in detail right now. Let's start off with a matchup on the East Coast to kick off the midweek MLS matches. We have Atlanta United hosting NYCFC. And look, man, I know we got a fan from each side on the show today. These two teams, I will say both are out of form at this very moment. Right. Of course, you have Atlanta United still trying to recover from losing very, very key players. On top of that, Gregerson's out. You're coming off of that 1-0 loss to Montreal, which AJ will get your take here in a second on that. And sitting in a weird spot in the East. And then you have NYCFC, meanwhile, coming off that 0-0 draw to the Fire, which I want to say I called that last week. We'll have to run the tape back. We'll have to run the tape back on that one. I'm pretty sure I called that draw. Davi was pretty damn confident about that one, but Chicago Fire proved to be a little bit tricky. This team on the road is interesting. They, I think, what is it now, Davi? Is it 3 losses in a row on the road? I think we don't feel that great about your team's performances on the road. But at the same time, if there's a silver lining here, right? Teams have walked into the Mercedes-Benz and gotten dubs this season. And Atlanta United just in a really weird spot. So, look, let's start with AJ. Let's preview kind of how we think this match is going to go. AJ, are you any kind of confident this week?
We are in such a dire situation that, most teams probably coming in will have a bit of confidence to be able to roll us over. And, I mean, Jamal Tiara, he was able to pull off some late minute magic, with, kind of bamboozling the keeper. But, that was our last home match. But then we set a string of just poopers. And, it's really, like, to lose against Montreal, I mean, it's maybe okay with our form, without Thiago Mata, without GG, without Caleb Wiley either. And then losing Gregerson, who just lost his head for some damn reason. And, basically no DPs for this match. And then a makeshift defense. My hopes are not high whatsoever. But, it's something where, okay, I hope that maybe Saba, maybe Silva can do a little bit of something and provide entertainment. That's really what I'm hoping for. Entertainment, because I'm going to this game, but it's a matter of, okay, make it worth it for me to go to this game.
Facts. Yeah, big facts. Let me ask you on the tactical side really quick. There's got to be an adjustment, right? Like, I think you guys were running like a 3-4-3 or something along those lines in the last game against Montreal. Yeah. Now with Gregerson out, I imagine there's got to be just a big shift to try and like stay in. It sounds weird to say, right? Even at home, but like just keep this game in front of you wholly, right? From your side of things. There's got to be a shift in tactics for this one, right?
Well, I think we still probably are going to play with 3 center backs. It's kind of been our MO since Valentino has been at the helm as an interim head coach. But we only have 3 healthy center backs if they're available. I think it essentially will be probably Morales, Abram, and who else? Williams. Yeah. So pretty much 3 left footers. And it's going to be very strange to see a whole back line just, all one-footed, skewed the one way that usually no teams play. But and then we'll have a left back that's right-footed. And so, it's as makeshift as it comes. But the rest of the team going forward, it's a little bit more predictable and less helter-skelter. But ultimately, I don't know if we're going to create enough to really go at it and go at NYCFC at home. I think if we do, it's foolhardy. I think we will get torn up, and it will not be a pretty scoreline. So I think we almost have to sit.
Yeah, it's a really interesting, and we'll get Davi back here in a second. It's a really interesting like pick for me when I break these teams down as a neutral. I agree with everything you said. I think it's going to be difficult, but I also think that look, these two teams drew back in, when was it, April in New York, right? So it's one of those where, granted, but much
way
different looking side, way different side. Yeah, I would say NYC was also in a kind of a different place. But of course, right, it's so difficult to go there and win on that damn baseball field. But now when you think about coming home, being in front of that crowd, Nick Cushing's side just really, honestly, man, winless. And I said 3 earlier. It's 4. The last 4 away matches, they have not been able to really get anything from them. And I don't know, man. This is like one of those where the fact that there's just 2 out of form teams meeting midweek, there's going to be some rotation, whether it's forced on Atlanta's side or, just something that they kind of need to do on NYCFC side. They're missing Maxi Morales. And here's Davi. We'll get him here in just a second. But I want to back Atlanta in this one, bro. Even if you don't, I really want to back Atlanta United in this one. I think I get a lot of FC Dallas vibes when I hear you talk about the team. But I still feel like there's something to be had here at home. Davi, are you with us, bro, or are you still kind of figuring things out technically? There you go. Hey, you're on mute, by the way, bro. You're on mute.
I got no clue what's happening, bro. It's just like the roster. Everything's falling apart now. Ever since it's like we're piling injuries on injuries on injuries, and James Sands is out for this game. Pereira's out for this game. Tavon Gray's still out. O'Toole is out. Malachi, of course, Malachi's season's over. I mean, the only positive is that Maxi's coming back. But even since Maxi's come back, Cushing likes to play around and just likes to put Maxi in the middle and put Santi on the wing. And Santi's not a winger anymore. He plays better in the middle. And I don't know. And on top of this game is on turf, so this is absolutely brilliant. And I don't know. Atlanta's losing. Atlanta lost the last 4 games, and this is just another one. This gives me vibes like if there's a team that they're gonna beat, it's gonna be us before Leagues Cup. It's gonna be us. I just know it because you cannot convince me that a midfield with Justin Hack in it can win this game. No, get the fuck out of here. Justin Hack is garbage. I'm sorry, he's garbage.
I mean, look, like I said, both teams are missing. I think it makes it really hard if you're a betting man, right?
This is great selling point for me as a unbiased fan here.
Yeah. And Hector, I think look, if you're gonna put money on this game, who do you pick and why? Because I'm curious. I think both teams are in a really, really weird spot, being out of form.
Oh man, it's really an interesting matchup because of the fact that like both teams are kind of going into a very not going in great terms. And honestly, you said that Atlanta gives you FC Dallas vibes, but then you got Davi over here listing all the injuries. That's pretty FC Dallas if you think about it.
I don't want my team to be the fucking bar down here that everyone's compared to, right? Like I agree with you, but
this is the Spider-Man far from home over here pointing at each other. But I don't know, man. Atlanta United, obviously the home crowd should be an advantage. I mean, Davi
Hot
Atlanta.
Let's stop that. Let's stop that. Good.
Hey, they were winning when I said it.
That's true. Yeah. There's a little streak Hector's on here. Your favor agent.
Well, then possibly.
No Amada and Yakamak is
exactly. But this is the thing about the crowd as well, though. You guys are saying like the crowd is fully bought in. Well, it's one of these things, man. Like the crowd is very much on a dime going to turn on Atlanta United on the pitch if things don't go well. Like the Boo Birds have come out early.
I was going to go into that. I was going to mention that as well. I'm not entirely sure how behind the fan base is on this Atlanta United team. So I don't necessarily think that the home field crowd will be in effect. I'm sure as someone that knows about lack of home field advantage, it's probably going to be even worse because we're talking about an NFL sized stadium.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be interesting to see. And it's fucking Wednesday. So, I mean, I can imagine.
I don't think the turnout's gonna be that good. It's probably gonna announced be like 43,000. The actual attendance is probably maybe mid-30s. If it's probably high 20s.
It's gonna be U.S. Open Cup. Yeah. It's U.S. Open Cup attendance.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that was anemic though. That was probably about like 600 people. Like that's
holy. It was
insane. Not a lot of people. It was bad. Like we were dire. We are. When I tell you we're dire, I'm not fucking with you. I'm not lying to you guys. And this whole matchup.
I just like right now how I just love how AJ's over here saying, "No, my team sucks," and then you got Davi over here. No,
Yeah.
we don't.
No. I don't want that. I don't want this to be the battle of mid. It might sound like it, right? Like it is in a lot of ways.
This is snooze fest. I'm sorry, it's a snooze fest. Man.
Oh
no
my
offense
God.
to AJ, Davi, you seem like a great guy.
Who's going to score? Like, just I don't
Bro,
know who's going to score.
Xiaoyang's not going to watch this game. His boyfriend Yakubakis is not going to be on the field.
Fair.
Yeah.
He's over in
I get the DPs are out of this, but someone has to on either side of this. And I think that when the first goal comes in, it opens the game up. You never really know what happens. And if it comes from Atlanta side, I'm hoping the crowd gets involved and makes this something that United fans can actually cheer about. At the end of the day, if it doesn't happen that way, so
Cushing,
be it.
Nick Cushing, when he's away from home, he likes to play for the draw.
So he's conservative. He's safe. Okay.
He likes to play. He plays not to lose, essentially, which is
so. If in your time watching this team, if they go down 1-0 early, there's no kind of hope to like open this game up and start really going at them.
Well, under Nick Cushing on the road so far, I haven't seen a resilient comeback. I haven't.
Okay.
And then so Atlanta United also, we don't want to play with the ball right now. We want to be as direct. So it's basically like, no, you have the ball. No, you have the ball.
The most pragmatic game of all time, bro.
It'll be the first MLS game where the ball is in the middle of the field and no one touches it.
Yep, exactly. People just pull up and just like.
I think Cushing's team will like that, but all they'll do is just backwards and sideways passing. There's no like like on the road. You just play like dog shit, man. There's no creativity. There's no dynamic. There's nothing. It's just flat. There's nothing.
If I had any metaphorical wood for this game, it's officially gone, fellas. It's officially gone. I will say this, I think we sufficiently shut the hype down. But look, there's got to be a winner. There has to be a winner this game. I refuse to believe it's going to be a draw. I think look, there was a draw last time these two teams met. Different teams entirely. AJ, how do you see it going?
0-0. It's snoozer. I'm gonna leave the Benz angry, and check the fan cams after because it's just gonna be that.
I was gonna say I'll tune into the reactions on the Atlanta United fan TV channel afterward to see how it all goes. But and I think I encourage everyone in the audience to do the same thing. Maybe the game goes a different way and we see a different version of AJ tomorrow.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully.
Hector, how you see it going?
You know what? I'm gonna believe in Hot Atlanta.
There it is.
I'm a believe in Hot Atlanta. I don't know who the fuck's going. Own goal. You know what?
Shithousery. I'll take it, bro.
An own goal from Hack.
Absolutely.
1-0.
Absolutely. Davi, how do you see it going, brother? You see a turnaround for you guys?
I swear to God, if that happens to Justin Hack, you better make him walk from Atlanta to Orlando.
Oh, okay.
Actually, you know what? No, don't even go to Orlando. Just walk back to New York. Walk back to Brooklyn or something. We don't watch.
Get ready to learn Chinese.
I don't
buddy.
watch this.
You better learn.
I think, you're gonna be playing at Al Ettifaq and not getting paid at all. So
you have New York losing this game,
dude. I mean, if we win, I'll be super happy. But we suck on the road, man. We're just a different team on the road.
So you think it's gonna be Chicago Fire all over again, 0-0?
It could be Chicago. I mean, we did score a goal, but they called it back for offsides. And then the moment after Santi Rodriguez makes in that beautiful delivery that they called offside on to Blackrock for the goal that was offside, he subs in Burke Risa for the last 3 minutes plus stoppage time, and plays for a 0-0. Yeah, that's just life under Cushing moving on the road. I mean, just the fact that we've only been to the Benz and only to come out victorious one time in our history is I think it speaks to the I guess like how we're not that good on the road. And
so give me a prediction.
Dude, this has 1-0 loss written all over. I guarantee you some bum fuck that is like has like a dead career right now used to be so good, and it's probably going to be a Jazzy's Artist 2.0 situation where some bum from the bench comes in and scores.
Giassi's not a big. Okay, we're not gonna do this again. I had this argument before. Giassi has over 100 goals in MLS. Like I get, like right now he's. I'm not gonna stick up for an Austin FC striker, but at the end of the day,
he's a washed bum. He's a washed bum. That's what it is.
You're talking about the guy that masters accidental goals, right?
Yeah, that's true. And that's a skill, bro. A fox in the box, that's a fucking skill. I don't care what anybody says. It's a skill.
So you're saying Dax McCarty is going to score the winner? Okay.
Oh, I swear to God, if
holy shit, Dax McCarty plays
Dax
McCarty scores the game, Davi's not coming back on the show the next week.
I know, right? Yeah.
Whoa, wait.
I mean, it's Leagues Cup. I don't want to talk about Leagues Cup.
In
fact, I'll open the break. because we have so many injuries right now. I'll welcome the break. Just
Bro,
bring the
a
kids
lot
out
of us
there.
are in that position. A lot of us are in that position. And look,
Wait. This whole time, I did not realize Dax McCarthy's in fucking Atlanta.
Oh
yeah.
my God, bro! Yes, exactly. I called that a good signing when it happened. A veteran coming
It still
in,
is a good signing.
stabilizing the
I mean,
midfield. Yeah. I thought it was a good signing.
It's like what, like a Ryan Fitzpatrick of MLS, where you just been everywhere. He's just a journeyman.
yeah, pretty much, man. Yeah.
but better. Yeah, I think for me, I agree with Davi. I think it's like a 1-0 Atlanta. I think a little bit of a bounce back for United. We'll see what happens, but either way, I don't want to go all the way out and let you say snooze fest, but it could be. It very well could.
I'm hoping for a City win. I'm hoping for a City win. But if we don't
You
win,
should be.
that,
You should be. We don't even
likewise,
put
but-
Xiao Yans on this show. No disrespect to Xiao Yan. I love Rave Green TV. Don't get me wrong, but he is as negative as it comes about his team. So I really want to
Hey, man,
get you
but
guys
when
to
he
back
knows-
up.
dude, I'm even worse. I'm
He
even worse,
knows.
bro. I'll call it out.
That's fair. That's fair. I like realism. But look, let's move on. We've been on this one for a minute. Let's move on to Miami hosting Toronto. Lads, we'll talk about it. I'm sure it's going to come up, right? Messi being out. That ankle was fat as hell. Ligament damage. I don't even know how long he's going to be out, but for a minimum, this game, probably Leagues Cup. And Miami may have to get used to life without Messi, right? There's been some good practice already. They've been getting wins, minus that 6-1 drubbing to Cincinnati. And still, not actually at the top of the East, but pretty damn close. 47 points, second in the Eastern Conference. And then you have Toronto bouncing back after a crazy down streak. I mean, we were talking about NYCFC, talked about Atlanta being down bad. I mean, Toronto, I think this is like, what is it? I think it's last 7 matches they haven't won. And they finally got a 2-1 win over Philly, which is hilarious. Jim Curtin's man are just on another level of down bad. But with that said, still top 8 in the East. This one's going to be interesting midweek because they'll have to rotate. Actually, no, their last game was 10 days ago. So we may get a full strength side with the exception of Busquets because of suspension. So Boosie will be out. But with that said, I think we all probably fully back Miami to win this game. It would be pretty surprising if Toronto were to win, but it is midweek MLS. Crazier things have happened. So let's start with Hector this time around.
Saw one of these? When's the last time Philly saw one of these?
What do you mean?
They've never have. So that makes me really happy that the shit stretch that Toronto had, they break it against Philly. That's really
it's
poetic.
amazing. I love it.
And
yeah, it is 100%. Poetic. That's probably the best word to describe.
Just the fact that Toronto, even through this whole bad stretch of form, they've still been in the playoffs, and they're still in the playoffs now. They're in 8th place, that wild card spot. They've never dropped below that red line, which is incredible.
Yeah.
I think that just speaks to testament how bad the bottom of the East is.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. They haven't won an away game in 7, and I'm sorry, I stand corrected. So they haven't won an away game in 7 matches, but they got their first dub in the last 10 altogether. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying, guys. Like, Toronto's just in a really weird fucking spot, but they're getting some players back, right? Copa America's over now. They'll be quote unquote full strength to an extent, and maybe that's what they need to try and overcome Inter Miami, who will be getting, I guess, Luis Suarez back, who barely got any minutes in Copa America. Hell, if anything, he got a break, right? And now he's coming back, fresh legs. So, with all of that said, Hector, how do you see this one going, bro?
I mean, I will say, are they dropping the new kits on this game?
Bro, that would be sick. The Miami Vice kits. By the way, does anybody have a problem with those?
It's the Miami Dolphins kit. Let's be honest.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
But the font and everything was like Miami Vice-ish.
I think the leaks. I think there was like some fake leaks or like an edit that looked way better than this one. Yeah.
Do you guys have a problem with the archive kits, by the way? Just out of curiosity. Miami and LAFC getting them.
What archive does LAFC have?
Chivas USA, bro.
Chivas
Exactly.
USA.
It's Chivas. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like
I would have given them props if they actually did that.
Yeah, I actually would. I would have respected it. I would have respected it. Miami could have done the Miami.
They get the.
They could have done Miami Fusion. They could have gone full archive like in that direction, like Carlos Valderrama days. They could have like really thrown it back if they wanted to, but for some reason
they probably would have had to pay some rights. So business wise, it just wouldn't have made sense. But business wise, it also makes sense to go with Inter Miami and with an LAFC. They're they have the best selling kits probably from the past 2 years. I would say it makes sense, and it's frustrating because there's some legacy teams that aren't allowed to get them, and it's I think that's frustrating probably for a lot of fan bases, but I think that's just the money grubbing that MLS is. So
yeah, it had to be Miami. They had to be thrown in there. LAFC too. Like the fan bases are so adamant, it would be stupid from like a revenue standpoint.
I just want MLS to bring back third kits.
Yeah.
Well, they
Yeah.
did.
Well, they're slowly bringing them back since last year. Yeah.
Slowly, they are.
Yeah.
Not everybody has a third kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, look, with this game, I digress. With this game, midweek, coming off of a 6-1 drubbing 10 days ago, how do they turn this around?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fairly easy at home for them. I mean, it's also without Messi, it's 1.73 points per game. It's still that's a really good clip, you know.
Yeah.
So as far as I would say, Toronto being able to do something, I mean, it's possible. It's definitely possible, but I think Inter Miami just still the goods. They're too good, and yeah, I think they're going to be able to take care of business and probably get the win 2-1.
We're also talking about peak Miami humidity.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Coming
Toronto
from Canada
from,
to deal with that. Yeah.
That's a great point.
Well, I'm dealing with some right now in New York. It's in the 90s.
What is it? Oh my God, 79! Oh my
No,
God!
I think it is pretty hot. It's probably not as humid. I think the humidity down in like Miami is
Yeah.
probably like fucking next level. Like I just imagine it's got to be ungodly. But either way, putting weather aside, I think in this game, like I agree with what AJ said. I think we've seen from Miami just what they've been able to do without Messi already. And minus the Cincinnati game, which I will consider a one-off, they hadn't lost like the last 2 months. So it's one of those things where, yes, it's like May, whatever it was, 20th, something like that. It's been almost 2 months they lost. So when you look at that, and the question I really have is, and it's probably a bigger question to ask, can they keep this going if Messi is out for the foreseeable future, beyond Leagues Cup, heading into playoffs? If this is like some strong ligament damage in his ankle, do they mentally have what it takes to, like, maybe they were thinking, okay, we have the GOAT going into playoffs, we'll be fine. Now that may not be the case. There's a question mark there. Is the MLS Cup in jeopardy for Inter Miami?
It's too early to say, I would say, but it is definitely questionable, without the known health of the GOAT. So it's I mean, I think it's still they have all these pieces that allow them to, gain points, and if they're in a home playoff position, they're going to be in pole position to be able to do business in the playoffs. If they can, I don't know, if it's Messi-less, and then if Acosta is playing for Cincy and still at his, the clip that he's playing at, might be tough. It might be tough to usurp them, at least to get to the MLS Cup final, but stranger things have happened.
Yeah, true. I mean, dude, somehow Lucho might actually find another level from what he saw last season. Like somehow, like if you look at if you crunch the numbers, like he's already on pace with what he was doing in his MVP form in 2023.
Well, you think he wins back-to-back MVPs?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the only person that could really stop him is I guess Chicho, and we'll talk about him in a little bit. That suspension for these next few games may hurt him on that this golden boot path that he's on. But that's the only way that I could see someone really overtaking Lucho, and it goes against some of the fucking fans that I had to deal with in the comments too. A couple videos.
Or in the words of Matt Freeze, business heads are making business decisions.
Yeah,
and they'll probably pick the fresh face instead of the current MVP.
Maybe, but I think if it's so damn obvious, it'll like if Lucho's numbers are ridiculous by the end of the year, and they still go with Messi because it's Messi. I love the GOAT. He is literally. If I could get a tattoo, I can't because I literally have like a keloid skin condition. But if I could, I would. But that is a travesty if that were to happen. It's such a bad look for the league. Like, and I had this conversation in the comments a couple videos ago with a fan who was saying if it's even close, they should give it to Messi because he's the best thing to ever happen to MLS. That's such a weird fucking mentality.
That's participation trophy mentality.
Exactly. I thought it's such a weird fucking mentality. Like, I don't know. I don't agree with it. I will back that take tooth and nail. I hope that fan is watching this video because I don't know, man. There's something really fucked up about just gifting those types of trophies away. I don't know. It's just my opinion.
MVP stands for most valuable player, not Messi valuable player.
Yeah, 1,000%.
Well, it's also this though. Well, if Messi does come back and he balls out to a crazy degree where, I mean, and it's not unprecedented, where he basically is the Golden Boot assist leader. I mean, at that point, it's just, well, that's a given, right?
Yeah, If he comes back and slams the league, like, sure, I'll hold my hands up and say 1,000%.
Yeah, if he comes back and he has like games like remember the 6-2 against Red Bull that he had, like 1 goal, 5 assists. If he does that week in and week out, then he absolutely deserves. But for right now, even as a Messi fan, I freaking love Messi. It'd be an absolute robbery if he were to win it over any other player.
Yeah, I agree. And I think I will say this. If he does that, like he goes on to win MLS Cup, he's already bagged a trophy with Argentina this year. Hey, listen, some crazy Ballon d'Or shouts are going to be happening. And I think it's going to be wild if an MLS player can retain that prestigious individual award. It'll be crazy.
I think
it's chosen before MLS Cup is played, so it is. Yeah, I mean, it would be before that. And
that's true. That's actually true.
I mean,
I think Carvajal getting a shot is probably one of the worst shouts in history.
So Messi should get a shout by de facto, I guess you could say.
He did score the goal in the Champions League final. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah. I get it. I'm just saying, like it's just.
But it's fine.
Never in my life will I be able to confidently say Danny Carvajal is the best player in the world. Like I can't even say it right now without like laughing.
I agree with you guys. I agree 1,000%. And also, it's not like I have like a jersey bid or anything going on of that I'm so set on a certain Brazilian. But
yeah, he's not going to win it. By the way, it's probably going to end up being fucking Jude because he went to a final. I want it to be Rodri more than anybody.
It has to be Rodri. I think
it has to be in my perspective. But
if Vinny wins, football's finished. Let's be honest.
No, there'll be more Madrid PR than ever. Let's be honest. Yeah, man. Look, again, digressing a little bit with this game, it's going to be tough for Toronto. I think midweek MLS presents a unique opportunity for them, but the opportunity is going to be no Boosie, no Messi, and like maybe they can take advantage of that aspect, but. They still have quite a few weapons that they'll have to deal with from Miami's side, and I think it's going to be close. I don't think Miami's going to come, even at home, like shellac this team. I think it's going to be close. I'm going to say 2-1 Miami. I think it'll be close, but they'll nail it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was 2-1 for me. Yep.
Hector,
I'll say 2-1 Miami.
There you go. Clean sweep, Davi.
I disagree with you guys. I think John Herdman is a. Ryan Anderson, I've watched some of his content as a Toronto FC fan, and he says that John Herdman is a quote motivational merchant. So, and I think his course is ran, and I tend to agree with him, and I'm gonna run away with this agenda as much as possible. Nick Cushing broke this team.
So you're saying what? Like they're gonna beat the shit out of him?
Oh fuck yeah, It's gonna be like 3-4-0 Miami.
All right. There you go. You heard it first. I mean, it'd be crazy. Look, 3-4 goals in this game. I'll take it every day of the week. I just think it's going to be a little bit closer, but we'll see, bro. We'll see how it all nets out. Let's move over to Copa Tejas. We have FC Dallas hosting Austin FC. This game's a really, really interesting time because, I really wish Enon was available for this episode because I think I really like his take. And look, Austin FC fans, if you're watching this, let me know what your take is in the comments down below. I don't think Wolf Out has ever been louder. I think there was a time last season where it was pretty damn loud, but the fact that they kind of had the start to the season that they had and are starting to kind of revert back to what we all somewhat expected them to be, kind of a conservative, low-scoring side with not too much star power to speak of outside of Sebastian Driussi. And even Driussi is, can we say he's ghosting in games? Like it sounds like a weird thing to say, but I feel like he kind of is. Like I haven't seen that man show up. Seattle walked in there into the Q2, came out with a 1-0 win. Seattle's kind of on a high right now. And then you have Dallas, meanwhile, who I was at the game, bro. I was shocked as anybody else, man. Like the only player Galaxy were missing was Jovic. They had Ricky Puig, they had Gabriel Peck. The fact that we pocketed Gabriel Peck threw me I was in fucking dreamland, boys. I was in dreamland. It was 2-0 at home against the Galaxy. Petar Musa just worth every fucking penny we spent on that man. I got a feeling that maybe he uses this as a springboard to go somewhere else at some point. I'd be very sad about that. But right now, man, he is absolutely worth that $10 million that we spent. I think in the last 6 games, he's got 7 goals, which is the league best in that span. Only behind Chicho in non-penalty goals and XG for the season. So right now, I mean, you imagine where FC Dallas would be without guys like Petar Musa and Martin Paz. I don't even want to think about it. It's kind of sad to think about it.
Wooden spoon contender, possibly.
Yeah. It'd be pretty shambolic. I'll put it that way. But with that said, we're here, and I think that Austin came to Toyota a month ago, 5 weeks ago, maybe, and lost 2-1. Austin got the only goal they had was a penalty goal. I kind of see it going the same way. I'll be honest. I don't think Austin has anything right now that I'm scared of. I just, even with the fact that we have 6 players out, we're missing Velasco, Giovanni Jesus, Ferreira, Delgado, Pamecol. There's a chance Petar Musa's sick. He has an illness, so he may only be available for the portion of the game tomorrow. But I'm still not that scared of Austin FC. That's kind of where this team is right now. Am I crazy for saying that?
What about Jesse Zardes? Oh wait, I was just flip reading. Never mind.
Yeah, see, I'm just saying he's not shit. Like I think he's okay. I personally, when Austin FC fans got excited about that signing, what was it, last season? I wasn't excited, but I was like, you know what, like a decent forward. He may get double-digit goal contributions, and like that'll be a season for him, and that might be what they need. But I didn't think he was like dog shit. Like I think he's someone that come off the bench and put a shift in, at least work rate wise. But yeah, I mean, he's just not a clinical goal scorer. He's never really been that guy. Even with all the goals he scored at the Galaxy, even with his time with the U.S. men's national team, never really been scared of him. Austin will be missing a center back, Heinzike. He will be out for this game. If Petar Musa is starting, I feel really good about that. So I'm going to say my prediction for last, but AJ, let's start with you, bro. How do you see this game going? It is a rivalry game. Anything can happen. It's midweek. Where do you see it going?
Yeah, but it's still FC Dallas, against Austin FC, undefeated at home, last 5 games. That's a pretty good streak there, I would say. And you guys are on a scoring streak as well with 6 games, 6 of 7 anyway, that there's 2 goals or more. I mean, it's hard to bet against that. And, with the way I think Austin, it's just like, where are the goals going to come from?
That's a great question. It's supposed to be Driussi. It's supposed to be him, bro. That's the thing. Like, I feel like they thought Rigoni was the problem, and then they move him on, right? And he's gone. There's none of that anymore. But there's still issues moving forward. Like, I don't know what this team has to do to fix that. And again, so I kind of want to add on to be available for this episode. But Austin FC fans, let me know down below. You guys are more knowledgeable than I am on this specific topic. Like, what's missing? Is it strictly Wolves tactics, or is it the individual players that need to be held a little more responsible for how this team is flowing, how this team's playing? I don't know if you guys saw Alex Ring, their DP, had an interview in the locker room right after the game, and when they asked him what to expect, or if they can, the question was if they can turn it around in a short time frame in Dallas against a rival. His literal response was, "You need to ask the coach." Woo. Like he didn't even want to answer. Like, you need to ask the coach, and like I guess maybe it's a tactical question. I felt like that was a dig at how Wolf likes to set up. I mean, has he lost the locker room at this point then, if that's the responses they're getting?
I mean, I feel like I can kind of answer that. He's former NYCFC
former
captain.
Yeah, there you go. Uh-huh.
Yeah, he literally, like, just before, like, after 2020 and like that whole season, us losing in the playoffs in the first round, and just getting into the 2021 off season, we traded him away surprisingly to Austin for like $1 million in like TAM or GAM or whatever. And it was a shocking move to every single NYCFC fan, including myself. I personally hated the move. Everybody hated the move. And like we didn't understand, like, why would you get rid of our captain like that? Just like, to an expansion team. I mean, yeah, sure, it's like a nice chunk of change, but why would you get rid of the captain like that?
Well, that's why. I mean, it's literally the money.
Yeah, and then it was the money, and then not only that, it turns out he was also a little bit toxic in the locker room, and towards 2020 with like Ronnie Dyla, he was kind of butting heads with him, and we had another player, Matrita, earlier in the 2020 season that he was butting heads with Ronnie Dyla. He was a new coach at the time, and he shipped him off to Saudi. So Ronnie Dyla has a pair of balls on him. So it's essentially like, if you're butting heads with him and you're being toxic in the locker room, he's not scared to get rid of you. And then I don't think it's a coincidence. Like, the year we get rid of him, we win MLS Cup. I don't think it's a coincidence. So it could be some toxicity. Could be some toxicity in there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Austin's in a really weird spot. The crazy part is, look at where the position of these two teams in the West, right? I thought that, like, playoffs were gone. Dallas and Minnesota are the teams ahead of us. And if we win this game, we're 1 point away from overtaking Austin. And Minnesota is kind of in a weird, funky spot. Like, they're just not getting results. So, and then right above them is Houston. And Houston, we'll talk about here in a little bit. They need to kind of utilize some of the players they're bringing in, specifically guys like Ponce, to start generating more of an attack. Quinones, I expect to come back at some point towards the end of the season, and maybe that gives them a little more too. I don't know, but there's I think going to be a shift maybe towards the latter half of that playoff table, if you will, in the West. We'll see. Let's take some predictions here, guys. Rivalry game, midweek. It's Dallas's last home game before Leagues Cup. How do you guys see it?
3-1 FC Dallas.
I like that pick. I like that.
And I'm not trying to suck up to you, man. It's just like it just seems that way. Like,
Yeah,
it's basically this, because it's if FC Dallas scores first, well, Austin, they're gonna have to try to come out. They're gonna have to try to score. They might get one, but they're gonna get drawn out. They're gonna get exposed, and it's just gonna get a little bit ugly. And well, happy days for you, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll be at the game, bro. And I was the last one, to be honest. And credit to Austin fans. They show up. They do show up for these in-state rivalries. Like, they had a good crowd there. But, it really was kind of a similar thing last time. It was 2-0 for a while. They got a penalty towards the very end, the last 10 minutes. And then at that point, the game was just over. Hector, how do you see it going, bro? I mean, I know you're not a fan of either of these teams in any way, shape, or form, but you could pick a winner.
I mean, if they could both lose, that'd be great. But I mean, I don't know, man. I know you're very confident about going into Austin FC, and I mean, respectively so. I kind of am glad that Austin is where they are now, because Hernan was definitely sipping way too hard on the green Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And I mean, that whole Austin versus the world. No one ever talked any shit about Austin, probably me. But
I will now a little bit. All I'm going to say is I'm not being real. I think we're being real. You know what I mean? Like, we're not.
It was just insane to me when Hernan was just talking about how we can't even fit an 11v11 for practice to, we're definitely, we're playoff worthy. And I'm like, where the fuck did that come from?
I mean, look, they were on a crazy stretch of form, right? Like the new signings that they made, none of them were stellar. None of them were really like names you talk about. And like it was just clicking. It was like in that run where they beat the Galaxy.
I gave it to them for that. I was like, hey, they're playing great. They're punching they're matching the same energy with any opponent that they had. And I was like, that's great. But you guys, I was like, I'm not going to jump you all the way to playoff worthy.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of like the thing where we and Sha Young were at that time when we were talking with Hernan. And then he kept saying, wait till the summer. Well, it's the fucking summer now.
Yeah, true.
Where are they? Where are these signings that we're supposed to be fucking seeing? But at the same time, bro, I don't know. FC Dallas isn't that much different.
No. I mean, look, at least they have signings coming in, bro. I'm jealous. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I'm hoping we make a signing in the summer. I would love to make a signing. I just don't know how realistic that is, if we're being honest. But Austin will have players coming in. We're 2 days away from the new signings being able to be active on the roster, so those can't come soon enough. And Austin's in that boat. St. Louis is in that boat. They've made signings. I mean,
I'm sure Austin's also getting back the guys from Copa America. They should already be playing already.
Yeah.
So I mean, as much as I would love to see FC Dallas get another win against Austin, I don't see it happening. I think Austin ends up taking this 2-1.
Ooh, a road win for Austin. That'd be a crazy shout.
Does Sardis get his third and fourth goals of the season?
Yes, maybe that's it, bro. Maybe that's it.
Is Rubio good?
Rubio, honestly, he's
decent.
Just a shithousery player.
No, I mean, like, is he good health-wise? I know that he's decent.
Oh yeah, he's good. Austin doesn't have any major like injuries or suspensions, or outside of Heinzike.
Give me Austin. I mean, Heinzike is a big loss for them, but I think they can manage.
Davi, you have Giassi scoring and Austin winning in this one?
No, I have Dallas 2-0.
There we go, baby. I like it. I'm gonna be somewhat conservative and say it's another 2-1. If it were 3-1, I think it wouldn't be like surprising, but at the same time, like, I just don't want to overhype the shit out of my team, especially if Petar Musa just turns up tomorrow and he can't play. If he can't play, not that we can't get goals, but damn, it's a massive piece to lose right before a big rivalry game. So I'm hoping that, this illness that he has, whatever it is, he overcomes it tonight and he's going to go for tomorrow. But either way, I'm right there with you guys. I think Dallas should take this at home and make things really interesting heading into the break for Leagues Cup. All right, let's move on to, this might be quick, who knows, Battle of Mid, at least on one side. The Quakes. Dude, look at this record, bro. Look at this record. 4-2-17.
Ask Lanny FC, bro.
Bro, it's crazy, man. Like Luchi Gonzalez, in my opinion, wasn't even the fucking problem. Like, you got to make a move whenever you're down that bad, but I don't think he was the fucking problem. I think it's like a systemic issue with the Quakes, and then it's like it goes all the way down to their crowd and everything too.
Ownership and FO are the biggest cancer in that.
It's wild, man. And it bleeds into the crowd. I saw these crazy numbers being shared by Fabian Rankel today on Twitter around the viewership numbers for Copa America and for the Euros. San Fran was a top 3 market nationwide for viewership. So they love the game in the Bay, right? At least, in the Bay, in other parts of California. I think California had so much representation on that viewership list. And they don't turn up for Quakes games. And
the World Cup at Levi's is going to sell out every game. Every game they have at Levi's is going to sell out during the World Cup. I guarantee it.
And so I don't know what it is that they I mean, granted, if your team's losing this bad, it's going to be very hard to entice the fans to show up. But you got to do something, man. At some point, there has to be a reason for people to give a shit about this team. But it's not the record. And I don't know if it's the players are just giving up already. The crazy part is like Espinoza is top 3 in terms of big chances created across all of MLS. These fucking dudes just can't score. Like they really can't, bro. Coming off of that 2-1 loss to Sporting Kansas City. I've been there. I'm not gonna knock it too bad. Dallas just lost to that team like literally a week ago. And then you have Houston, 31 points, 8th in the West. Kind of, been in that 6 to 8 spot for a little while now for the last month or two. Coming off that 1-1 draw to Minnesota. So Hector, talk to me, bro. I mean, are you guys just waiting for Ponce to kind of solve some of those upfront woes for you guys, or are the problems a little bit deeper than that?
I mean, I'm just gonna point this out. The games that Sebastian Ferreira starts, he scores.
That's true.
I'm not no. I just got an F license from U.S. Soccer Federation. It's not like I have anything of real worthy of knowledge, but out there. But yeah, I don't know, man. Look. If there's one thing that we all know from the Dynamo is that they have a very safe defense, and they have probably the greatest vibes guy of all time in Steve Clark between the sticks. But then obviously the midfield. It's very sturdy, very solid. Coca Carrasquilla, if he's rumored to leave to go to Europe, honestly, it's not as big of a loss anymore as it is now because Latif Blessing has proven to be just the savvy MLS veteran that we all know him to be. So, I mean, if Coco does end up moving out, but I mean, he had a pretty good game when he came back with the Dynamo from Copa America, so that's pretty solid on his part. But I mean, at the end of the day, the conversation is always the same thing. It's the front attack. They did ask Ben Olsen of what was the potential of possibly having a front 2 with Ponce and Sebastian Ferreira being up front together, and he was just like, "What? No, we're sticking with one striker," which I'm not surprised. Obviously, like I said, everybody knows, if you guys have listened to this at this point, that Sebastian Ferreira has been in on the doghouse for since last year. So, I mean, I can see why he doesn't play as much, but he is the true definition of a 9. No one can tell me otherwise. But Ponce, he's exciting. He's gonna definitely be a big boost to the team. Obviously, we're not gonna know until he finally plays. They were waiting for him to come in a little bit. I think we should be seeing him, if not this game, the next game. But we'll see what he brings to the table. He seems to have a good nose for the goal, and that's all. That's probably the positive, because Ibrahim Aleyu does not have that, and so I will bash it till it's proven differently.
Yeah, Aliyu has 6 goals in the season. He's the top goal scorer, I think, for the Houston Dynamo.
Yeah, but what's his shot percentage?
Yeah, it's probably terrible, bro. I mean, 22. Either way, 22 games and 6 goals. I mean, it just doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good. So I agree with you. It's a shame that Ferreira is just not in the manager's good graces. Let me ask you before we move on to predictions with the rest of the guys. If Houston somehow, I mentioned before, right, between 7th and 11th in the West is very tight. If Houston somehow missed the playoffs this season, is Ben Olsen gone? Is he in the hot seat? How does that work?
I don't think so. I think him in the front office see things very much eye to eye, despite probably except on Sebastian Ferreira. But even then, he's also I believe Sebastian Ferreira is also on Pat Onstad's shit list as well. But it's gonna. I think the front office still believes in Ben Olsen. We saw what this team could do from last year, that they were very exciting. This season was just kind of rough because we started without Hector Herrera at the beginning of the season. Obviously, we lost Nelson Quiones, who was set to have a really big year. He was given the number 7 jersey. It has no meaning to the Dynamo, but it's just, obviously when, it's always exciting for a player getting that number. But obviously got injured during representing his country in Colombia. And so, I mean, there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of question marks behind initially coming in from the Dynamo. And then also the fact that you let go of a lot of strikers and you didn't necessarily have an answer at the 9 spot. And so I think going into the offseason from that, I had my hesitancy with the team. Obviously, you guys were very optimistic for the Dynamo, but I wasn't necessarily, just because of the loss in the front. But aside from all that, I think Dynamo is a very strong team defensively in the midfield and goalkeeper. It's just missing that consistent goal scorer up top.
Fair. That's a fair point. All right, let's get to predictions, guys. AJ, I don't even think we have to. I feel like it's going to be a clean sweep for Houston, but I mean, let's kick it off. AJ, how you see it going?
Yeah, easy dub, 2-0, Houston Dynamo. Yeah,
2-0. Look at that, Hector. You like that? That 2-0.
Yeah.
Are you going to back them to draw this time on the road like you usually do, or are you actually give them a win this time, Hector?
Wait, I gotta make my prediction now.
Okay, we'll let Davi do it. We'll let Davi do it. Davi, you go first, brother. You're right. Hector's last on this one.
If this isn't anything but a Houston win, you gotta. Well, you got some problems down there.
Hey, as a team, as a fan of a team who beat the Quakes in the last second in like week 2 of the season, I mean, a dub's a dub. Doesn't really matter how it happens. But I agree. You kind of need to win this game with the team only having 4 wins. I'm gonna say it's gonna be just like the SKC game. I think it's gonna be a 2-1 win for Houston. I think Houston may still concede one somewhere because you can't create that many big chances and still not get nick a goal here or there. Espinoza needs to go somewhere, bro. He needs to go to another fucking team. Just ship him out, completely rebuild the side. Like he can help so many teams right now. But anyway, I digress. 2-1 Houston for me.
I mean, obviously today they just announced that Tim Howard is joining the ownership group for the Houston Dynamo. There's a lot of excitement there. Clearly he had offers from other teams. Apparently what he saw in Houston was more than enough. So it's good to know my $16.75 an hour went somewhere.
For those who don't get the joke in the audience, Hector used to work for the Dynamo
and got fired. Because they were broke.
Fair enough.
Not because of me. But anyways, aside from that, it's a lot of excitement also obviously for the club. Especially right now because now there's a lot of young players that are getting represented from national teams. Shout out to Sebastian Rodriguez playing for Mexico's U18 team right now. So I'm very proud of that kid. But I think that there's a lot of excitement with the Dynamo, and they're playing for a lot right now. Obviously, we all know what's going on in the city of Houston. We got hit with a really bad hurricane. There's still some people that don't have power in their homes, and I mean, obviously, it would be a good escape for the city to see some positive results. I'm sorry, San Jose. You guys just happen to be on schedule. And I mean, if Ponce comes in and has a great performance, I see a 2-0 victory for the Dynamo.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, bro. By the way, isn't it crazy that one of those 4 wins is against LAFC? It's wild. Wow. Yeah, that's wild. That's LAFC crazy. Being 25% of your victories. Crazy. Anyway, speaking of LAFC.
Should have been 5.
Should have been
beat Austin. If it wasn't for fucking Austin FC not being able to.
Well,
Driussi came out of nowhere in that game, to be fair, but yes. Yeah.
We should make this interesting. So if the Quakes win, Hector, what do you have to do?
Oh, I like this.
Apply for a job back at the Dynamo?
They won't take me back. I've said so many. I said so much. Bro, I told you about the KFC.
That's true. You did. And that's been an agenda on this fucking show since day 1. 100%.
I've heard every remote of my instance of coming back to that team.
Whatever KFC he got it from, it ain't an American KFC. I can tell you that because the American KFC
it's Mexican KFC.
Mexican KFC.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know,
KFC,
bro. Maybe we'll get Hector a nice little Quakes jersey or something. I don't know. We'll figure that out. We'll figure it out in the group chat.
No. You're not. You're letting him off play. It's got to be Dallas.
I mean, he can pick his way. Remember, the Houston Dynamo were originally the San Jose Earthquakes.
Yeah, true. Now maybe it's the motherland kind of calling you home. You'll be a Quakes fan for I don't know. Maybe on this show, a Quakes fan for the rest of the season.
They've been stealing championships since what?
Oh man, I get to talk shit to Honda.
Bro, I would. That's actually not a bad bet. I'm actually down for that if Hector's down. Or like Davi said, you bet against Dallas this week. If Dallas were to turn up and win, maybe we get you a nice little hoops jersey, bro. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
No. It's gotta be the new ugly shirt where it's like purple and red. It's gotta be that one.
Yeah, the Afterburn jersey is actually kind of trash. I'll be honest. Yeah. Either way, bro. Either way, I'm happy. So we'll figure it out. Quakes, SC Dallas. I like the vibes here.
I think it's fitting for the Quakes.
Yeah, I think so too. For the rest of the season too, it'd actually be fucking hilarious. Either way, though, talking about that one of those wins that the Quakes had. Moving into LAFC is our last big preview for this video. And this one's a juicy matchup despite some key players missing out. And it's kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. LAFC hosting the next top dog in the West in RSL. RSL, of course, talked about it a little bit before the show started today. Chicho out. I think it was 4 matches we said, right? The red card that came through, violating the harassment policy around the league. And this is a big one to miss, man. A massive one to miss. They could definitely use him. And not just they can use him for any game, right? He's literally the top goal scorer in Major League Soccer right now. But against his old team, against a team that prior to last week was the hottest team in MLS at this very moment. They probably still are, just based on win percentage. But that 5-1 drubbing to Columbus by LAFC is damn. Like that's, I mean, we all sat here, and at least the ones who were on the show this past week, and picked LAFC to win. We thought it was going to be close, but based on form, we backed those guys. And Wilfred Nancy said, "Nah, fuck that, hold my beer." And he completely just dunked on this team. And now, right, you had both of these teams, RSL concluded, went to Portland, got shellacked 3-0. So both of these teams, the two top dogs in the West, coming off of a bad game, bad day in the office, but two heavyweights going at it. We got to pick a winner here, guys. I'll put mine out there, then I'll let anybody else take it. I think it's gonna be just without Chicho, bro. Without Chicho, where do the goals realistically come from? That's what's in my mind right now. I feel like he's the only one who's been scoring for this team, left and right. And without him, I'm not saying they can't score, but someone's got to step up. And I just don't know who that player is, right? So could be Luna, could be someone else. But I think for me, in a close game, I gotta back this team and this rampant home crowd 3-2-5-2. Maybe they'll be wearing those weird ass archive kits for this one. Who knows? Maybe not. Not really sure. That brown, orange, and off white. But I'm gonna back LAFC. It's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be like a. I don't want to 2-1 again. And there could be goals on either side. I think it'll be 3-1, but it'll be very close. Like if that makes sense. Like it'll be close till the very end. The LAFC gets like a corner kick goal or a counter in the 90th minute, and they get a third, and they kill the game off.
To be fair, Andres Gomez and Anderson Julio, they're kind of they're the equivalent to Arango in goals, but Andres Gomez, he has 11 goals, so I mean that's also a threat. So,
That's fair. I don't want to discount RSL too much, but I think Chicho's just the way they play off of him. He's been too massive.
He's the focal point. He's the focal point of the attack.
Yeah, I agree.
But with that being said, without him being there, I think LA pulls away and gets a win.
I think they take this shit personally. I don't think a team as good as LAFC loses 5-1 to anybody and doesn't come out fucking swinging the next week. Like, and nothing against RSL, they lost 3-0, but I don't see Denny Bouanga and company like just taking that punch across the chin and just being okay with it. Like, I really don't.
I mean, that's the thing. It's both sides are dealing with that, and I think both sides are going to bounce back to that degree. And I don't want to pick a draw. I really don't. But I think it's probably a 2-2 draw because there's just not a lot separating, even without Aranjo for RSL. I think Luna is going to, he's been motivated. And I think he's going to probably want to show even more so with Aranjo out. Okay, yeah, lean on me. And, we can make something happen. But I just don't know. Yeah, if it's enough to actually pick a clear winner here. And yeah, I think it's a 2-2.
It's a good point, man. And dude, this game was, I just wanted the Bouanga versus Chicho, bro. Like they both had the same amount of goal contributions right now, just in different areas, right? Chicho has 17 and 5 assists, and Bouanga has 14 and 8 assists. Like they're literally tied on 22. I wanted to see that with Chicho coming back to LAFC. The storylines were there, and I feel like it's going to be slightly lukewarm in comparison to what it could be. Hector, you picking LAFC too?
I mean, I am. I think with RSL, this is going to be one of those games where we need somebody to step up because their captain's not going to be there. Is it a Diego Luna or is it a Gomez or someone else? But we need someone to bring in a masterclass, and I just don't see that happening, especially in the home field advantage that is LAFC. That place it's a pretty tough place to play in. There's no blizzard, so I mean, I'm sure we can confirm that from the weather. We got to respect the weather now.
I don't think Trundolo is going to be bitching and complaining after the game.
No, I don't think so. I really don't. Like that 3-0 that happened early in the year. Like, yeah, it's that shit's done with, and you can't even factor that game into this analysis. I don't think.
Man, I can't wait for him to complaining about a tropical storm in El Salvador when he's coaching USA.
God, don't wish that upon us. Don't wish that upon us.
It's happening, bro.
It's probably gonna happen, bro.
It's happening more than likely.
Oh God.
I've been hurt by this national team for too many years.
I know, man. I'm so jaded. I'm like, just accept it, guys. Like, it is what it is.
It's been a rough 32 years of existence for me.
I mean, it could be worse. They could hire Southgate, but
I would rather have Southgate.
Yeah.
I'd rather have
No,
Madrid.
no.
I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm
Over
right, I'm right
Cherundolo?
there. Over Cherundolo? Yes, I would take Southgate.
He almost got
I
beat
would
by fucking
100% take
Berhalter.
Southgate.
Come
Yeah.
on.
We're fucking shopping in like fucking I don't know, Goodwill right now, guys. Like,
Bro,
come on.
I'd
Fucking-
much rather have fucking Joe Biden coaching USA.
Oh,
Okay.
God. Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
Bro,
God.
all I'm saying with Southgate is that, like, say what you want. How many golden generations have come through England, and how many times they advanced to a semifinal or a final in a major tournament? Like, I'm not saying Southgate is the guy for or has been the guy for England, but the progression is there for everybody to see, whether you like the way they play or not. It's like, no, the results are there. I care about results.
Anyways, this isn't a USA discussion.
Yes, exactly.
But
We digress.
are we expected to see an Olivier Giroud by any chance in this game?
I don't think so. I think it'd still be too soon, actually. Yeah,
2 days early. Yeah.
2 days early. One day early, technically, when the game happens.
July 18, the window open. So I don't think any. Yeah, so I don't think any new signings can debut until the weekend.
But honestly, they shouldn't need Giroud, right? Like we've seen how bad RSL can play on the road. We just saw it in Portland. I think at the end of the day, like at home, 3-2-5-2 should make this very difficult for Salt Lake to walk in there and try and get a dub.
Yeah. So 2-0 LAFC.
Davi?
Oh.
Yeah, it should be 3-0, 3-1 LAFC. I mean, just the fact that they're adding Olivier Giroud, that's not fair.
Yeah, it is what it is. Imagine, bro. Like I said, I think I said this last week. Like, how old are their strikers? Kai Kamara, Olivier Giroud. If you somehow also throw in Hugo Lloris in there, you got 3 players on that team that are over 100 in years combined. That's fucking crazy, bro. That's crazy. But it's MLS, so it technically works to an extent. And I mean, no matter what, Giroud is quality, so he's gonna come in and have a great impact on that team. But they may not even need it.
I mean, so is Kai Kamara. I mean.
He's scoring. Shit, he's scoring, bro. It's kind of wild that right now he is the go-to forward, and right now that is Olivier Giroud's competition.
I mean, if you want to talk about the Ryan Fitzpatrick of the MLS,
yeah, that's a great comparison, bro. That right there, 1000% great comparison. Davi, we're gonna say,
isn't he like second all time in like goal scoring in this league?
Something like that. He's up there. He's top 5.
Something, yeah.
Top 5
I think he
for sure.
surpassed Landon Donovan. No, is that correct?
Yeah, I can look that up. I think we can look that up.
Probably.
I'm not really sure.
I mean, it's not that hard to pass him up.
Yes and no. Yes and no. But we digress, right? I mean, I think we all collectively, outside of AJ, have LAFC fully backed on this one. If RSL draws, that's a good point for them. That's a good point for them. No Chicho, and you're going away to a hostile environment after the crazy shit show of a game we saw with the Blizzard game, the 3-0. That would be a very solid point for RSL. They just kind of keep it moving from there. But we will find out. We'll find out how that match goes. But lads, that is it. Those are our in-depth previews and predictions for those 5 specific matchups. Let's conclude the episode as we always do. Quickfire predictions on Wake Up MLS. Let's jump into it. Columbus hosting Charlotte.
Columbus, 3-1.
3-1.
Crew, 2-0.
I'm gonna say I'm looking at my scores that I had listed out here. I also said 3-1. I don't know why I want to go back to 2-1 now, but I'll stick with what I originally wrote down. I said 3-1, so I'll stick with that. Hector,
I'll go with the Crew. 2-1.
Yeah. Imagine a world where Dean Smith goes into Columbus and gets a dub right before so many fans go out to Columbus for the All-Star Week. It's gonna be crazy. I don't know.
It's crazy. That'll be crazy.
Yeah, it would be. But MLS has produced crazier shit, if we're being honest. Cincinnati hosting Chicago.
Oh, it should be an easy Cincy win.
It should be. I'm going to say 2-0 just because, I don't know, like midweek MLS game, maybe since he rotates and it's not quite the shellacking we all think it's going to be, but I'm going to say 2-0 clinical.
1-0. I mean, yeah, it's midweek. They'll hold off a little bit. Yeah.
1-0, Hector?
Yep.
All right, there we go. And Davi, what'd you say for this game?
Just give me 3-0 Cincy.
3-0 Cincy. Damn.
I mean,
all right.
for the sake of John. For John's sake.
Let's not worry about John's sake. I think even he. I'm not saying he stopped caring at all because he didn't. If you guys watched the episode two videos ago, he was literally cheering and freaking out about the Fire's comeback against Philly on air. It was hilarious. So
I'd react the same.
Yeah, he's still invested a little bit, but yeah, it's getting tough to be down there.
Look,
now,
man,
with that said,
we're always ready to get hurt again. We're always ready to get hurt again.
Right.
Yeah, it's okay. Suffering a little every now and then is okay. Red Bulls hosting Montreal.
No,
take your bias out of it. Take your bias.
This is Aslani FC.
Take your bias out of it.
I can't see Montreal winning though.
It's tough, bro. It's tough. They did beat
Is
Atlanta.
Forsberg gonna be good?
I don't know if he's back for this game.
I don't know.
I don't know. He's been out for the last few.
Give me the draw, just for God's sakes.
I think it's 2-1. RB and what?
I have a draw 1-1 for these two teams.
Wow.
Hector?
2-0 Red Bull.
Wow. Okay. I'm the only one in the draw camp. I thought there'd be more of that. That's fair. That's fair. I don't know. Maybe I still respect.
You keep yelling at me for when I pick draws.
That's true. That's true. I always say like we shouldn't sit on the fence, but I was trying to be as analytical as I could about this one. Like I said, maybe I respect Montreal a little bit too much. Philly hosting New England.
Oh, stink of the week.
Stink of
the week. I like that. I like that. We're
Stink
gonna
of
call
the
that
week.
term. I like stink of the week.
You will not be watching MLS 360 from this.
Yeah. I don't know what Philly has to do to turn this shit around, but
I'll say I'll give it to fucking Philadelphia. Kevin Sullivan scores his debut.
Yeah,
imagine, dude. The PR for Sullivan, if he scores on his debut as a 14-year-old, will be beyond Freddie Adu levels. Like it's gonna reach Lamine Yamal levels. Crazy. I don't know, man.
No, don't.
I don't know, bro.
No,
Philly fans, I tell you, man. Jim Curtin saw what Spain did with Lamine Yamal and said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do the same shit. I'm gonna bring the 14-year-old up and we'll see what happens."
Look,
I'm gonna say
the clock's ticking. You got 4 years with this kid.
Yeah, true. Very true. I'm gonna say Revs 2-1.
Oh,
They get a road dub.
Give me an ugly 1-0 New England win.
Ooh, that actually might actually be a better shout. I don't know if Philly scores even at home. They're just in a weird spot, man.
No, they're down bad, and I love to see it.
Philadelphia's just thinking about that tea crate.
Yes, sir.
Just still thinking about one of
this
these.
is 0-0. This is 0-0.
0-0. Oh,
yeah, this is. I know. Like it's just a battle of like not even mid off. It's like I don't even know. Like shit off.
Why am I even?
Shit
here?
off. Yeah.
Why am I even here?
It's like picking between two turds.
Yeah,
Picking between two turds.
Pick your poison. It literally is a pick your poison scenario. I think it's tough,
Yeah.
but I'm going to give Porter's men the benefit of the doubt. Moving on to Minnesota hosting DC.
1-1. 1-1.
Same. That's exactly what I said. Yeah, 1-1.
1-1.
I think there are goals in this. Like a lot of goals. I think there's man.
Both defenses are down. Yeah, I think there's potential for it. I'm factoring
Yeah.
the midweek like randomness. I'm just gonna kind of like lean on 1-1.
I'm gonna say 3-3.
Holy,
Lots
this
of
could
goals.
be game of the week then, according to AJ. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Nashville hosting Orlando.
Man, I could not care less.
2-0 Orlando City.
You want Orlando to win, AJ? Don't lie.
Championship.
Oh, yeah, right.
Moment.
I think it's 1-0 Nashville.
I said 2-1 Nashville.
I said championship DVD moment, AJ.
Hey, I don't have to buy in, man.
Fair play. Hector, you're all in on Orlando then?
Yeah, unfortunately, I gotta stand on my hill.
I like that, bro. Yeah, stick with the pick the whole season. So we got Orlando, Davi.
It's either a draw or Orlando win because they're better on the road for some reason.
Yeah, it's weird,
They are.
bro. They're just it's so weird they can't play this well at home. But
I mean, hopefully that translates into an NYCFC win on Saturday. So
yeah, we'll find out. So okay, so basically the bunch siding with. Well, no, I had Nashville and AJ had
Nashville. Yeah.
Nashville. Oh, so it's split. We'll see how it goes. Galaxy. This is actually a really good game, a sneaky good game. Galaxy hosting Colorado. This is going to be I think a low key banger.
I think it's going to be high scoring. I think 3-2 Galaxy.
3-2 Galaxy. Hector has 2-2. A draw. Okay.
I can see that. Yeah, I could say 3-2 Galaxy. Yep.
I'm actually, as much as I've given Hector, slack on this one, I'm going to also say 2-2. I think it's going to be. I think Galaxy are going to come back into this game. They'll be down 2-1 and get the goal at the end to get them over the top. Now, keep in mind, Mihalovic. Have they already left for the Olympics? Have they already gone to Paris?
They should have.
I mean, it's
I think
next
so.
week.
I think
Yeah,
so.
I think they have to, right? Like they should
They're
already be
training,
gone and in camp at least at a minimum. So yeah, I think without Mihalovic, which if they had him back on the field, I actually would pick the Rapids to win in this one. But I think it's gonna be close just because again it's at Carson and I believe Jovic should be back for this game, but don't quote me on that. Seattle hosting St. Louis.
Oh God.
I think Seattle's on the up and up right now. Nobody wants to admit it, but like they're actually like picking things back up. Jordan Morris found some form out of fucking nowhere.
Give me 1-0 Seattle. They went on a penalty.
On a PK. Damn. I said 1-0 too, but I don't think it's gonna be a PK. I think Morris is gonna keep the streak going.
Is Della Vega back?
I think so. Yeah, I think he did he not play this last game? Let me look really quick, but go ahead.
I'll say 1-0. Seattle.
De La Vega is back. He is back to full strength.
They're going to fight and win.
They're going to fight and win. No Rui Diaz, but what else is new for Seattle? So
Give me
It's
2-1
fine. He's
Seattle.
under some bridge. He's under some bridge right now because he's hobo.
2-1 Seattle. Yeah. So I think fight and win is probably spot on with this one. St. Louis, bro, they can't catch a fucking break. The sophomore slump is so real that this is like Austin FC 2023 levels. Like
it's
it's
not even a sophomore slump. It's a sophomore slamming, bro.
Yeah, bro. It's insane, bro. They got absolutely waxed by Vancouver, and I'm just convinced now they're just ready to. I actually, you know what? The funniest part, a random fan, St. Louis, who I guess tunes into the show, just tagged the Goals TV account saying that in our next rankings video, we have to put them in fast forward 2025. There's no more dancing around it. Like
honestly, I can see it. I can see it. Honestly.
Yeah, I think we danced around it a little bit in the last episode, but it's probably leaning that way. So we'll find out.
I mean, after the Leagues Cup break, I mean, you have a decent amount of games, and
they're making signings. Like they're gonna bring some players in, so there might be something. It's just that like I don't know what it's gonna take to get this team back.
I think it's too tall of an order for them to get back into contention. So yeah,
too little, too late. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And then finally, lads, Vancouver hosting Kansas City. Vancouver had 4 goals on the road against St. Louis last week. Just keep that in mind.
Vancouver.
Yeah.
I like the Canadian boys in this one too.
I think they get another 4 goals.
Damn,
Whoa.
That'd be crazy, bro. Back-to-back 4 pieces like that. I'm gonna say it's a little bit close.
Missouri is just down bad now.
I know, bro. Altogether, I'm gonna say 2-1 Vancouver, but I think
Yeah, 2-1 Vancouver.
Yep, Hector.
2-1 Vancouver.
Yeah. Man, that's it, guys. Those are our predictions. Man, I don't know what's going to have to happen with St. Louis just thinking on that, but this will be a very hot topic in our next video, which will be kind of not on schedule. It's just due to how the games landed at this time of the month. But considering Saturday is the final sort of game for every team prior to Leagues Cup kicking off, we're going to be kind of, for our next video, doing our last sort of power rankings in terms of ranking all of these MLS teams and where they are at this point of the season heading into the Leagues Cup tournament. So keep an eye out for that. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel because you're going to be able to tune into that and get access to that video the minute that it drops. So do that right now. Like the video. And guys, look, we're going to talk about Leagues Cup a little bit on this channel. I haven't thought yet how we're going to really do it. I don't know if we want to do predictions or something else, talk about other storylines. I know Leagues Cup's not everybody's favorite tournament, and that's even the case for some of us on the show. I'm one of those people. I think it's poorly timed, but at the end of the day, it's here and our teams are playing. I still want to talk about the teams that we all love on this show, right? So we'll find a unique way of doing that, and also keep an eye out. A few of us on this show are heading out to MLS All-Star next week. There's going to be some really great and unique content coming from this channel. So again, if you haven't done it already, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, let us know how we fucked up with our takes on this video down in the comments below. But with that said, for everybody here at Up MLS, my name is Jose. That's AJ. That's Hector. That's Davi. We'll catch you guys next time.